Hello, ladies of Widow Rising. Welcome to our first episode of highlighting the widows here inside our community. And I want you to know that Ness has been a part of my community. She's become more like a sister in my world, and I just love her to death. And, I'm going to be asking her some questions so that you can see what's possible for you too. Right? I believe that as we share more and more of these widow stories, we can start becoming more relatable with each other. And so those of you that are new into the widow journey, our heart is with you. But I also want you to know that you don't have to stay stuck. Grief is normal and natural, and Vanessa's is just one of many stories that you're going to see that you can get to a place of healing, growth, and even the possibility of love again. So Ness, welcome. Welcome to the first episode. Thank you for raising your hand and say, yes, sir, I'll do it. How you
Thanks.
feeling today?
I'm doing good, doing good. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I just want you to know that this is just going to be a conversation, right? Just you and I. And just bring forward your authenticity and your realness. Just know that this is a safe space. Okay, this is a safe space for you. And I know you know that, but I always like to remind you of that so that, you don't hold anything back. Your story is going to serve so many widows out there for them to see the possibilities of what growth can look like when you step in and you take action in your life. All right, cool. You ready for that first question?
Yes.
All right. So my first question for you, Ness, is where were you emotionally when you first got a hold of me? When you first sent, I think it was an email, right, that you sent me.
Yes. Yes.
Where were you emotionally when you sent that email to me?
I was at a point where I was stuck. Like I knew, that I still had things to work through. But I didn't feel like I had a place to go to that would understand, my feelings or even guide me because, yes, I had a referral to see a therapist from my doctor when I told him what I was feeling, and he just gave me the referral, but I didn't feel like um, that was going to be that choice for me because I know it's going to run out. You only get so many sessions, and then that's it because of insurance. And so I saw your television stories when you were on that when it was a Pacific PNC, and they had all these stories about. Um, I saw you talking about your story with the loss of Frank, and then how you came to be with grief recovery, and so I kept watching these stories over. I kept replaying it every time it came on. I kept watching it. Then I saw your articles in the PDN here about grief, and I'm like, something kept pulling me toward. I keep seeing your email address or your where to go to. I was even trying to look for someone local because you were already had got left island. I was looking for a different counselors, but I could never get. I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't push send when I send the email, compose the email. But when you, I finally did it in December of 2022. I said, "This is it. It's the New Year's coming up. I need to do this because I'm stuck in a place where I don't know which way to go anymore and who I am." So
Yeah,
I sent the email, and that's how it started.
got it. And how long had it been since Bill had died when you finally sent that email?
It was 3 years after he died. Yeah.
If you could think back to your hardest days after losing Bill, what did that look like and feel like for you?
Um, just continues just crying all the time. Um, I only took after he died. I only took off for a week after he died. I didn't. I was entitled to anything, any kind of benefit or bereavement or anything like that. So I just, and then I kept hearing this voice in my head saying, just go to work so that you're busy. You're keeping yourself busy so you won't think about it as much. But it wasn't the case actually. I thought about it more because um I'm in my office and, I isolated myself in my office most of the time. People came and, were saying, hi, how are you doing? But, every time they would come, I'd hold it together until they left and then I'd break down. So it's like, and
Yeah.
then coming home, it was the same thing. Just going in my room and, just sitting there. I'd
Yeah.
hold it together with my family too and then just go in my room and think.
So what I'm hearing from you is that you felt you needed to be strong
Yes,
in those early days, but also you isolated so much,
yes,
right? Didn't want to cry in
yes.
front of anybody, didn't want anybody to see that you were really not as strong as
Mm-hmm.
you had portrayed yourself to be on the outside, right?
Yes.
What made you think that you needed to isolate? Like why was it so difficult to share those raw, tender human emotions around people that you know and care for you, right? Whether it be your coworkers or your family. What was difficult about that? And that's what forced you to isolate.
I think that was because really it was they really didn't know. People didn't know really about our relationship. He never really came around my family or even at work. It was just phone calls and that I would take, but that was about it. They rarely by the office for something, on random days. But and I just felt like sometimes it wasn't. I I was doubting our relationship at the time, and so right before he passed, there was a difficult time where I was possibly either like quit or just you know, they didn't know what to do. So and then he passes unexpectedly, and I'm like, okay, that was I felt like that was, to be honest, God nudging me saying, hey, we got to stop this because it's not good for you. But that was the only way I would learn a lesson. I think that's what I think. Looking back, that's what I think about the most.
Yeah, it's a lesson
Yeah,
that God was trying
yeah,
to teach you.
right. Yeah.
Mm, okay. So you mentioned that, like a lot of your family, especially your family, didn't really know about your relationship. So,
Mhm.
just for the ladies that are watching this video, is it okay if I share next?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So when Vanessa came to me, and she was sharing with me about her grief with Bill, um, she uncovered, not right away, but later, right, that Bill was the love of her life, but they were not married, right? And so there was a lot of identity that you lost along the way, trying to
Yes.
figure out who am I in this space, right? I feel like I've lost the love of my life, but am I really a widow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, Ness, me telling you in the beginning when you and I started working together, that nobody can take away the love that you and Bill had between each other, and a piece of paper
Right.
doesn't make a difference between how much you love someone, like how much you and Bill loved versus how Frank and I loved,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Legally, you may not have been married, but in your heart, you were,
Right. Yes.
right? The love of each other's life. And so, thank you for sharing that. And, again, ladies, I know that identity is something that we all struggle with, whether we are legally married to our spouses or not. There's a very instant thought in our minds of who am I now, right? Who am I now? Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Ness. Um, what fears or beliefs did you carry then about your future? Now that Bill is gone, what fears did you have, or what did you believe in your mind about where your future was going to go?
I thought that his him that I would that was my love, that was my true love, and that you know, um, I wasn't sure that I would find that again, or if I could find up the possibility to have that again, knowing what could happen. I'm like I would, just I don't know. I just like kept to myself, not really wanting to explore anything or just I thought this is it. I'll just be by myself. I wouldn't have another partner. But just going, I just said I need to work on myself. Then this is my opportunity to work on me to see whether or not I find that again. Um, it's not gonna hinder me from trying to find out who I am, because after being so long with somebody and then that's taken away, it's like, okay, who was I before? Because I don't remember that person, and I want to find that person again.
Beautiful, beautiful. And it's just that nudge, right?
Yeah.
That nudge of who am I? And I do want to find her again. And just that alone was, I believe, the driving force, right, for you to really just reach out. Yeah. Um, so I guess that answered my next question of what made you say yes to stepping into this space, into my program, right? You already knew that you needed something and you wanted help, right? And so
Yes.
I just want to say thank you for trusting me and reaching out to me, right? Because normally I'm the one reaching out to widows,
Right.
and
Right.
that's perfectly okay because I know it's not always easy for widows to reach out. But when we have somebody like yourself who said enough is enough, I need help. I know I can't do this alone. And man, she keeps popping up. Her interview, her articles,
Yeah.
like she must possess something that I need. And so I'm going to reach out,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
But were you nervous or hesitant at first when you did reach out?
Actually, no, I wasn't. I was like, I was nervous about what, because when you were discussing your program, I didn't know, like, I'm like, okay, how deep is this gonna get? Am I ready for it? But I was, excited and anxious at the same time. I always, because I've never talked about it. I was always all inside me, and like I said, I feel like I had nowhere to go and no place to express myself that would that I would take away, that I was being helped or that it was
Yeah.
helping me. Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. It's something that I share with you ladies, right inside the program about how, well, we won't make decisions or take actions or feel the need to do that until we are uncomfortable enough.
Right.
So would you say that
Yes.
you were at a place in your life where you were just uncomfortable enough and you were tired of feeling that way out in that moment?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it took me a while after, I mean, almost a year after I saw your the TV programs and then your columns. I'm like, I would always go back to just keep looking for your interviews. And I'm like, okay, and then
Wow. So you watched them,
yeah,
read them for a year before you finally said, I'm going to do
correct.
it.
Yeah,
Got it.
it
Got
just
it. Yeah. And I get that, right? So
yeah.
sometimes it does take a little while for you to believe that in yourself, that you're ready for this. Um, I know that I always talk about like micro moments, right? Micro shifts. Like we don't ever really, I mean, I shouldn't say that. We do have sometimes big, profound shifts, but it isn't always like that. And almost always it's not like that. We're going to have these little micro shift moments. Can you remember that first moment that you noticed that something was shifting inside of you? Can you recall that first
um
time you felt that?
it was maybe after we completed the grief recovery component
Mm-hmm.
of and going through that, it was tough for me because it was like I would always, those are everything was stuck inside me, and hadn't realized that little things that we were going through during the program. I'm like, this is why I think I am the way I am, because of what I've been through, the experience I've had from childhood to navigating my relationship with Bill, and the things that I wanted or thought I wanted. Um, it, I'm like, okay, now I know this is like the stepping stone to get to where I need to be or I want to be in my life. And it just like, as we go through, the programs with you, as we were going through I'm just trying to find my way, trying to find out who I am. That was the biggest thing for me. And knowing, doing the little steps that we did, the work that we did, um, just made me realize that I need to find out who I am to love and to be able to love myself in order for me to give the love that I want or get the love that I want again or experience.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. And I think that we can all validate that, right? When we do that work, because I know even for myself, I had to heal first from
Yeah.
missing and losing Frank to then realizing what next,
Mhm.
right? What next? Where to from here? Oh, shoot, I don't know my identity. Who am I now? And now going on that self-discovery
Right.
journey, right? Which is what we do.
Yes.
How do you feel different today compared to when you first started working with me?
I'm not, um, I don't hold back anymore. I don't, try to minimize my feelings or what I'm feeling. I'm, I come to this is like you said, you're a safe space for me. This group is a safe space that I can share what I'm really feeling, where I know everybody would understand what I'm going through because we've all been there or we have that in common. And outside of that, I have no one to, share the feelings I have because no one close to me has experienced a loss of a spouse or, partner, you know, in that way. So that's why I said it was something that I needed to do for myself and have always wanted to do. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And you're doing such amazing work, I think, on yourself. Like we all are going to walk or run at a different pace,
Yeah.
right? And you are definitely moving at the pace that you need to move for yourself, right? And I always want to remind you that you're just exactly where you need to be. Um, how has being in this community shaped your healing? Right? You mentioned that we are the one place where we get it, we understand, right? But how has it shaped your healing being here? What has it done for you in your healing space?
It was me find my voice. Because I used to be the person in the background or tell me what to do, I'll do it and then, you know, here, that's it. But when I see now I'm more vocal when I see something that I know I need, it's like it's not right, or I advocate for myself better than I have been before. So
Mm,
yeah, I noticed that
I
change.
love that. Yeah, yeah. And I definitely have noticed that in you as well. So
Mm.
thank you. We're gonna wrap this up in a bit. What would you say to the widow who's thinking, that sounds great for Ness, but I don't know if it could ever happen for me? What would you say to that widow who doesn't believe that this could be for them too?
I would just say to that widow that, just come and try it. Just immerse yourself in the program and in the group, and you never know because it's it'll take. I mean, it may not take you as long to realize that this is where I belong. Like like I said, when we did the widow retreat in Florida this year, that was where I knew that I'm in the right place because meeting everybody and just sharing um, our stories and just being together solidified that feeling for me. Just being with the group. So yeah, because being in Zoom on a weekly call um, doesn't always you don't always get that feeling of that if everybody's really sharing their true selves. But when we were together, that's what really solidified that for me.
It was
Yeah,
magic, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful. If you could go back and speak to yourself back then
Mhm.
when you waited a whole year
Yeah, yeah.
before you reached out, what would you tell her now? What would you tell that old version of yourself now?
Just do it. Just don't be afraid. Just do it. Don't overthink. And don't um, kind of um, get get preconceived notions about what it's going to be or how it's going to be. Just do it and just let whatever happen happen.
Beautiful. Take action, right? Take
Yes,
action.
take
I love it.
action
I
and
love it.
yeah,
What are you most hopeful or excited about for your future?
to find chapter two and just that little picture in the corner there with in the wedding dress is what I want to experience. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I love it. I love it. And you will get there. I believe it. Do you believe it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Man, thank you, Ness, for just sharing your heart, sharing your story. It's always such an honor to have you in my community and to really be one of the leaders inside, leading the way with, just your example, your voice, your your heart, right? To be there and to just welcome in all of the newer widows that are coming in. So appreciate you so much, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you very much. You're my sister for life. So yeah.
Ditto, honey. Ditto.